Sappho was once an historic Greek woman poet who wrote lyrical poetry well known for its excessive ardor and description of love. Being born on the Isle of Lesbos, she is additionally referred to as the first lesbian poet. Little is recognized of her true life, although she was once born round 620 BC and died about 50 years later. Unfortunately, tons of her poetry has been lost, though some poems have been painstakingly pieced collectively via surviving fragments. Details of her existence are tough to piece collectively as there are few dependable sources. For example, historians are not sure about whether or not to take her poetry as dependable autobiographical evidence. What we do understand about Sappho: her household show up to belong to an aristocratic household on Lesbos, a giant Greek island. They possibly lived in Mytilene, which then used to be a large town on the island. One lifestyle states she married a man known as Sir Silas, who got here from the island of Andros, and they had one daughter, referred to as Cleis. In stature, Sappho was once stated to be brief and dark. She was once described by means of her pal and fellow poet Alcaeus as violet-haired, pure, honey-smiling. It seems that Sappho used to be an influential determinant in the nearby community. Her poetry refers to the intrigue of courtroom existence and attended events, such as fairs and navy parades. She seems to have attracted a team of lady college students who have been involved in the teachings and poetry of Sappho. Sometimes this has been seen of as a women-ending school, with education for younger ladies before they get married. The presiding deity of the college was once Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love and sexual desire. Evidence from the duration suggests she and her household used to be quickly exiled to Sicily due to the fact of political troubles on the island of Lesbos. The sexuality of Sappho is every now and then referred to as a lesbian. The phrase lesbian is virtually derived from her area of start, Lesbos. However, there is no difficult proof of her sexuality. Her poems specific amazing ardor for a range of human beings, each guys and women. They might also have been autobiographical or not. Also, in Greek culture, there was once an increased acceptance of homoeroticism, with love of the equal gender viewed a regular practice. It is probably Sappho's neighborhood of younger ladies used to be comparable to the intensely all-male societies of Athens and Sparta. Combined with her excessive poetry, it has made Sappho show up to be an early discern of lesbian literature. For example, my flesh runs with tender fire, my eyes lose sight, my ears hear nothing however the roar of the wind. All is black, sweat streams off me, trembling seizes me, the coloration drains from like grass in autumn. I nearly die. A truth seeker Maximus of Tyre wrote that the friendships of Sappho had been comparable to these of Socrates, suggesting Sappho had a circle of like-minded pals introduced collectively via a love of art, poetry and culture. It has been suggested, with little authority, that Sappho can also have been the head of some formal academy like a school. However, it is greater probable to be a much less formal circle of friends. Poetry of Sappho. The poetry of Sappho regularly revolves round subject matters of love and passion, and has a readability and simplicity of language. Inside her poems, there is extremely good vividness and directness. The fashion is frequently conversational, giving an impact of immediacy and action. The poems have been additionally sung to music, which means they wanted to be lyrical in form. Come return to me, Gongila, right here tonight, you, my rose, with your Lydian lyre. There hovers perpetually round you delight, a splendor desired. From Please via Paul Roche. Her poetry additionally worried retellings of well-known Greek classics such as some a navy of horsemen, some a navy on foot, and some say a fleet of ships is the most lovable sight on this darkish earth. However, I say it is whatever you desire, and it is feasible to make this flawlessly clear to all. For the lady who a long way surpassed all others in her beauty, Helen, left her husband, the pleasant of all guys, behind, and sailed some distance away to Troy. She did no longer spare a single concept for her infant nor for her expensive parents, but the goddess of love led her astray, to desire, which reminds me now of Anactoria, although a long way away, translated via Josephine Balmer. Her poems had been written in Aeolic Greek dialect, as this dialect was once pretty rare. It explains why her poems grew to be increasingly more misplaced as fewer humans had been capable to translate them. The difficulties of the Aeolic Greek meter, additionally potential. There is big variance in English translations. However, even in the classical period, her repute was once well known. Plato referred to her as the 10th muse. During the medieval period, her recognition for sensuality and homoeroticism supposed her works grew to become much less well known. However, in the 20th century there has been a resurgence of hobby in her work. This resurgence was once helped by using the discovery in 1896 of many historical texts in a garbage dump at Oxyrhynchus, an ancient site that noticed the rediscovery of many poems and fragments of the works of Sappho. Death of Sappho. One legend about the demise of Sappho is that she ended her existence by throwing herself off the Leucadian rock out of love for a younger sailor, referred to as Phaon.